Hello all. As per the few days back, I had shared my sourdough Khaman Dhokla, and it's a very famous recipe of the good juice, and we just love it to have it either in the main meal or the snacks, like having with the chutneys and etc. So but again the thing was, like, nominally this dhoklas are made up of, originally it was obviously the fermented recipe, but later on people wanted to have the instant, and it turned to using the baking soda and the fruit salt like eno etc. There is no harm to use the baking soda in the minimal quantity, but again when you come to the health part of it, it is at alkaline base, so it reduces your stomach acidity level when you have it, and when you season with the oil or something like that, it absorbs a good quantity of the oil. So that's the reason. And also I just wanted to experiment with the sourdough, so how we are getting the lightness in that. And of course you can use your sourdough discard this way as well as without any baking soda, and you can just make it just in few hours for your family. So let's start. This is the basin. It is approx, you can say 130 grams. It's 1 cup approx, so 130 to 150 grams is the basin. Then I have kept mix of the salt and turmeric, salt to taste and the turmeric just to get the color. I have also taken a 1 tablespoon of semolina, the suji, okay. And here is the main ingredient. I have taken the half cup of my discard, so it will give some sourness also in it, and it will help to get a lighter texture and the fluffiness. And yes, the oil, I will take 1 tablespoon of oil, and I have also taken the green chili and the ginger paste. It gives a very nice taste, okay. And I have taken a thali which I will grease with the oil, because whatever I will do the mixture in this, and the mixture I will pour in this thali, and let the thali, in the thali itself, let the batter get fermented, so you will get a nice rice, okay. So, and then once you get a nice rice, a doubled or something like that, and you can simply steam it. So I will show you how to steam as well, but right now we are just fermenting it, right? So let's start. I'm just greasing the thali and keeping ready. And here it's a medium size, okay. It's not a very big size, it's a medium size, and sufficient for, like, 2 to 3 people, like, depends on the taste how you eat it. So you can make accordingly if you want more, okay. So let me start how to make the mixture. And yes, we may need the water if only the batter is very thick. If it is covered with the discard, then we may not add the water, okay. So I'm just taking that 1 cup of the besan flour. It is organic flour, like I do source from shop for change the chana dal, and I do meal at my home in my mock mill, so it gives very fine texture. So you do take the fine texture flour, okay. Adding the semolina to it, and I'm adding semolina is optional, it's your choice to add or not. This is the salt and the turmeric powder. I'm just adding to it. Going to add the 1 tablespoon of the oil, just okay. And also I'm going to add the ginger paste. My family, they like spicy food, so I take, some more. Otherwise, as per your taste, you can take. I have taken approx, you can say 1 teaspoon. And I'm going to add the starter to it. So that's my discard actually. The sourdough discard I had taken from my fridge, and I'm just going to add this right now. Okay. And just stir it nicely. Sorry, the bowl is small, so we may need some more water, so I may add like maybe 1/4 cup, and we'll check how it is giving the consistency. It should not be very runny, it should not be very thick like a dough, but it has to be a medium, say idli consistency. Okay, so I'm just adding some more water to it. So it's 1/4 cup of the water. Let's see if it needs some more, then I may add some more. Just mix it nicely. It is some thick, so I may need some more water, and I will add. If you have like diluted curd, we say like a chach or buttermilk, if you have that, you can add that also some, so it gives a nice taste of the tanginess. So approximately I have taken the 1/2 cup of the water. So earlier I had added 1/4, and now I had added 1/4, so 1/2 cup of the water. And you can see this, it's a nice batter. Mumbai is right now warm, so I'm keeping it at the room temperature to get it fermented, and it may take, depends on the weather, it may take 1.5 to 3 hours, depends on the weather, and you will get a nice fermentation. And if you want for a longer fermentation, then you can keep this in the fridge and for some time, or till the fermentation you get, and you can just, once it is nicely fermented, you can steam it. Okay, so do not keep any lump, stirring it nicely. So also the reason to stir it nicely, we just incorporating the air inside, so it will help to get it more fluffy. Okay, and some little water I may need, because it was something. Okay, yeah. I'm stirring it very fast, and I'm just trying to incorporate the air inside, so it will help to get a nice texture of the Khaman Dhokla. Okay, so it is almost done. See the stirring, I have continuously stirred it, so to get it, later on the end result should be very nice. Okay, so let me keep aside, and here I'm just pouring you can just clean it up, and okay, and we are done right now, and we'll post you after a few hours. Let me check how I'm getting the fermentation, and we'll post in the next video. Okay, do cover it and keep it at the warm temperature to get a nicely. I'm spreading it, okay, and you can just lightly tap. See, you can see the air bubbles, okay. So once it will get a nice air and it will get the fluffiness. Of course, what we have added the discard, even that will help it to get a nice fermentation, okay. So I'm just covering with okay. So this is what we are done with. Okay, so see the fermentation after 3 hours, you can see, and it has risen up and you can see the bubbles around, and when you are touching, see, though you can just oil your finger and you can just touch it and it should bounce back, okay. And there are the fermentation, you can see the bubbles inside trapped, okay. So what I have done, I have taken a big kadhai, what I was having. You can have a pan also, and in that you can do either you get the ready, you know, the Dhokla stand in the market. What you can do, those 4 thalis, 3 or 4 thalis they have in that. So all you can do, the fill up with that, let it get fermented and let that Dhokla stand go in the pressure cooker. So you can get the, if you want to make more, or otherwise what I have done, the same way you can do, or you can just make the batter in the bowl and let it get fermented, and how many thalis, whatever you want to do, the quantity, you can just do the same way. So I'm just keeping it, you know, taking care of it, and see, it is quite nicely fermented, and I'm keeping it for the steaming right now, okay. And going to keep the dish over it, and it on the fast flame I have kept for 10 minutes. I will like, you know, it is more, it may take 10 to 15 minutes, you can say, but because don't be impatient and just remove in 5 minutes, otherwise it will be very kacha. And for seasoning, I am taking, you know, 1 to 2 teaspoon, you can take, see the oil in it, and I will do that seasoning after some time once it is more to ready, and I will do that. And I have taken the mustard seeds, I have taken the cumins, I have taken the hing, and I have taken some curry patta. Curry patta, they were in my fridge, they were some dry, so, and I was, right now I'm not having the coriander leaf, otherwise you can just garnish with the fresh coriander, it tastes amazing, okay. And also the white sesame. So this I will use for the seasoning, and I will do seasoning just when, you know, 10 minutes will be done here, and I will start to heat the oil and I will do the seasoning, and that seasoning I will pour on the dhokla itself, okay. Okay, so almost you know, 7 to 10 minutes, you can say, yes, it is about to 10 minutes, and I would like to show you, you know, how it is done. And you can just do a steam slow, and you can just check it. If it is clean, it is done. So, you know, when you are, see, it is quite clean, okay. So I'm just keeping it, let it get some more steam, and here I am going to start my, you know, heating my oil and going to do the seasoning. So let me do that. And okay, so yeah. For the seasoning, I have taken the, as I've said, 1 to 2 teaspoon oil. Now in that I am going to add the mustard seeds, jeera, and the hing. Okay, let it get fluttered nicely. The oil is hot, so you can hear that sound, and I am adding some sesame seeds as well. Okay, and let it get nicely flutter. The oil was quite hot, so it has been done nicely. You can see that. Okay, once it is done, you can just add 1 to 2 tablespoons of the water to it. Okay, so I'm just going to add the water, and first I will switch off the gas, then I will add the water. Otherwise it will take chances are there, it sometimes, because of the oil get split out, it may get some flame. So to avoid that, I'm just switching off the gas and I'm adding some. That's it. Okay, I'm just pouring the seasoning over it. You can take a help of the spoon and just spread it nicely. If you have the fresh coriander, you can just sprinkle. Right now, sorry, I'm out of the coriander leaves, so I have not garnished with it, but you can do that way. Okay, and see, it has nicely risen. You can see that. Okay, once it gets some cool, I will do the pieces out of it. I will cut the pieces and I will share with you all, guys. Okay, those are the sourdough Khaman dhoklas. You can see the pores and the crumbs. They are very nice. Of course, the crumbs are uneven because we have not used the baking soda, but we have allowed to have a natural fermentation. So that's the reason the crumbs are uneven, but it is really a very light and soft. See, it's very light and soft Khaman dhoklas. You can serve with the green chutney, you can serve with the red lasun chutney, and they taste yum. You can serve as a snacks, you can serve as a part of your meal, and it's very famous in this season, especially when you have the mango ras and the puri. With that, these Khaman dhoklas goes very well.